Chosen ones, what I'm about to share may surprise you, even shock you. If you're watching this video right now, it's not by coincidence. God has led you here because something powerful is happening in your life. You are shifting from wanting to having. Yes, you heard me right. The very things you've been praying for, hoping for, and waiting for are no longer just desires on the horizon. They are already aligning with your destiny. And with this shift comes a deeper revelation, one many overlook but all chosen ones eventually face. You were never meant to have many friends. You see, when God handpicks someone for a divine purpose, He doesn't surround them with a crowd. He surrounds them with clarity. He removes the unnecessary voices, the people who can't understand your calling, the ones who would distract you from your divine assignment. At first, it feels like rejection. You wonder what's wrong with you, why others gather in groups while you walk alone. You scroll through your phone and see connections you used to have, now faded into silence, and you ask yourself, why don't I have what they have? But here's the truth. You were never designed to be like everyone else. God has placed something inside you that is so rare, so sacred, that it requires protection, not popularity. The anointing on your life demands separation, not social validation. You weren't created for the crowd. You were created for the calling. And not everyone is equipped to walk with you where God is taking you. That's why certain people left. That's why some friendships didn't survive. That's why you often feel like the outsider in rooms where you used to feel at home. When you're chosen, your spirit begins to elevate. And as it elevates, it naturally disconnects from what no longer resonates. It's not pride. It's not antisocial behavior. It's spiritual evolution. And the deeper your purpose becomes, the more God starts to fine-tune your circle. He doesn't want you influenced by confusion, entangled in comparison, or burdened by people who were never meant to carry the weight of your vision. There's a reason Jesus had 12 disciples, but only took 3 up the mountain. There's a reason He often withdrew from the multitudes to pray alone. Even the Son of God knew the power of selective connection, and if He needed silence, solitude, and separation to align with His mission, what makes you think your journey would be different? Many friends often means many opinions, many distractions, and many doors for the enemy to enter. When your path is sacred, you can't afford that kind of noise. You don't need 100 voices validating your every move. You need the still, small voice of God confirming your every step. And when you truly start walking in divine alignment, you begin to realize that companionship is not about quantity, it's about quality. It's about surrounding yourself with people who understand your silence, who honor your growth, who don't feel threatened by your elevation. Chosen one, you were meant to be set apart. That's why your phone doesn't ring like it used to. That's why your invitations stopped coming. That's why you sit in rooms by yourself, not because you're unloved, but because God is making room for something greater. The isolation you feel is not emptiness. It's space being cleared for divine connection. People are being removed not because you're unworthy, but because they were never worthy of the calling on your life. And sometimes, in your loneliness, you'll feel tempted to go back. You'll remember the laughs, the memories, the comfort of the familiar, and you'll wonder if maybe you're just too guarded, too closed off, too different. But don't let nostalgia trick you into settling for connections that no longer serve your purpose. God didn't pull you away just to send you back. He pulled you away because He's preparing people who are aligned with your future, not your past. People who will pray with you, not prey on you. People who will speak life into you, not drain it from you. It's time you understood that being chosen comes with a price, and one of the first things it costs is your need to be accepted by everyone. You're not meant to be understood by the crowd. You're not meant to be liked by everyone. You're not meant to fit in rooms that God has outgrown for you. The calling on your life is disruptive by nature. It shakes things, it stirs people, it breaks molds. And not everyone can handle that. Not everyone will celebrate that. But that's okay. Because your assignment is not to be popular, it's to be purposeful. And purpose doesn't need a cheering section, it needs conviction. When you walk in that, You'll begin to see that the very loneliness you used to resent is actually a sanctuary where God meets you most clearly. It's where He sharpens your vision, strengthens your spirit, and gives you downloads no crowd could ever comprehend. It's where He separates you not to harm you, but to heal you, not to punish you, but to promote you. So the next time you find yourself wondering why you have so few friends, remember this: you are not lacking. You are being refined. You are not forgotten. You are being favored. You are not unloved. You are being elevated. And what's ahead of you requires discernment, not distractions. God isn't interested in how many friends you have. He's interested in whether the few you have are anchored in truth, guided by faith, and aligned with where He's taking you. This journey is not about being surrounded by many. It's about being surrounded by the right ones. You see, chosen one, God knows that when you're surrounded by too many people, the noise can drown out His voice. And in this season of your life, you cannot afford to be confused by too many perspectives or distracted by surface-level friendships that offer no spiritual depth. You've been called to something uncommon, and that means your walk must become uncommon too. The isolation you've experienced wasn't to make you lonely. It was to make you holy. It was in the quiet places that your character was being developed. It was in the silence that your spiritual gifts were being awakened. It was in the absence of human connection that God became your only connection, and through that connection, you became unshakable. You learned to pray deeper, think clearer, and hear God without interference. You learned how to stand when no one clapped, how to heal when no one noticed, how to trust God even when people disappointed you over and over again. And here's the part many people miss. Being chosen doesn't mean being celebrated. It means being separated. It means being hidden while others are being elevated. It means being kept in the shadows until your light is ready to shine without flickering under pressure. That's why they didn't invite you. That's why they overlooked you. That's why you've been walking a road that seems so unfamiliar to those around you. But unfamiliar doesn't mean wrong. It means sacred. It means you're being escorted by grace through a path only the anointed can walk. Friendship is a beautiful thing when it's divine, but when it's not rooted in alignment, it becomes a weight. Many of the people you thought would go with you to the next level were only assigned to your past chapter. And the truth is, if they stayed, they would have corrupted what God is now trying to build in you. Their voices would have distracted your discernment. Their insecurities would have contaminated your confidence. Their presence would have dimmed the light that God was trying to ignite in your soul. So what you thought was rejection, what you thought was being abandoned, was actually protection. And when God protects, He doesn't always explain. He doesn't always give you closure. Sometimes He just closes the door. Sometimes He makes the goodbye feel like betrayal so you never go back and open the door He sealed shut. That's how serious your destiny is. That's how intentional your isolation has been. It's not random. It's not cruel. It's holy. And the sooner you accept that your path is not meant to be crowded, the sooner you'll walk in peace. Because the truth is, some people were only in your life because you hadn't yet realized how powerful you were on your own. Some connections were based on your past self, not your present growth. And when you began to evolve, the energy shifted, not because you did anything wrong, but because your spirit outgrew the space. The reality is, spiritual maturity looks like knowing when to let go of relationships that no longer align without needing a dramatic exit. It looks like understanding that silence is sometimes the loudest confirmation that the season has shifted. It looks like having the courage to bless people as they leave your life, knowing that God is doing a divine reset around you. He's pruning your environment so your soul can finally breathe. Chosen one, it's time to stop mourning the friendships that faded. Stop chasing the people who left when your spirit started changing. Stop doubting your worth just because your phone isn't flooded with messages. God is not building you for popularity. He's building you for impact. And impact doesn't require a crowd. It requires clarity. It requires a clean heart, focused mind, and unshakable faith. And you can't carry all of that while clinging to people who were never meant to understand your mission. God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. And part of that qualification is spiritual solitude. He will strip away every false attachment. He will break every superficial bond. He will remove every counterfeit companion, so that when the real tribe arrives, the ones who speak your language, who carry your fire, who honor your walk, you'll recognize them not by their popularity, but by their purity.